Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. Today, we're immersing ourselves in one of the absolute most stunning, paradoxical, and philosophically profound stories in human history. We're stepping right into a grand cosmic atmosphere to explore the legend of Lord Shiva, often known as Mahadev, the supreme god. Through the beautiful, striking watercolor visuals we've got for you today, we're going to unpack how a single entity can somehow represent absolute stillness, chaotic destruction, and profound love, all at the exact same time.
I want you to consider the ultimate paradox of Shiva. As the ancient saying goes, the one who is never born nor will ever die, calm yet fierce, ascetic yet destroyer. I mean, how is that even possible, right? How can someone be a meditating ascetic sitting in total silence and also be the fierce destroyer of worlds? Well, that beautiful tension is exactly what we're going to explore through our artwork today.
Okay, let's dive into part one, from the void to creation.
Imagine a time when absolutely nothing existed. No sky, no earth, no stars. Just an infinite dark void. But within that absolute nothingness, there was this singular, immense power. That underlying energy, that infinite potential, that's Shiva. Within the grand cosmic design, Shiva is a totally crucial part of the Trimurti, the divine Hindu trinity. You've got Brahma, who creates the universe, Vishnu, who preserves and sustains it, and Shiva, who holds the heavy title of the destroyer. But, and this is super important, Shiva isn't just some force of mindless destruction. He's actually the essential catalyst for change. Think of it like a forest fire that clears out the dead wood so new seeds can finally grow. He brings the end, but only to pave the way for a brand new beginning.
Moving right along to Section 2, Adhi Yogi, Meditation and Balance.
Let's completely shift gears here and slow our pacing down for a second. We're moving from the massive cosmic scale down to the icy, isolated caves of the Himalayas. Just picture the absolute stillness of a snowy mountain peak, perfectly captured by the serene, minimalist portrayal of Adiyogi bathed in soft, tranquil colors. Here, Shiva sits in deep, deep meditation. He's completely detached from the material world, just existing in this state of profound tranquility for thousands of years. In this specific form, Shiva is actually recognized as the very first guru of yoga. He isn't just practicing meditation for himself, he is literally the source of it. He taught humanity the deepest secrets of meditation, how to achieve universal balance, and how to truly connect with the soul. This facet of Shiva visually represents the ultimate inward journey. It really shows us the grounding power of pure focus and self-mastery.
Now, let's look at Section 3, Shiva's family and love.
But the story definitely doesn't end in the frozen mountains. We now get to witness one of the most fascinating transitions in the mythology, revealing a deeply emotional, almost human-like side to the supreme god, as he shifts from a totally solitary ascetic to a devoted family man. This epic cosmic story of love and loss unfolds in a few distinct phases. It kicks off with a really tragic sacrifice. Shiva's first wife was Sati. Her father, a super proud king named Daksha, really despised Shiva and publicly insulted him during a massive fire ritual, a yagna. Unable to bear her husband being humiliated like that, Sati actually threw herself into the sacrificial fire. And the grief and fury of Shiva at this moment literally shook the entire universe. But then we move to the next phase. Sati is reborn as Parvati. To win Shiva's attention back from his deep meditation, Parvati undergoes immense penance, like incredibly severe austerities out in the harsh mountains. And finally, we reach their union. Shiva recognizes her completely boundless devotion, accepts her love, and they are married.
And from this union come two absolutely incredible divine children, Ganesha and Kartikeya. Now, there is a very famous and honestly kind of shocking anecdote here. One day, Parvati created a boy out of clay just to guard her door while she bathed. Well, when Shiva returned home from his travels, the boy, who had no idea who Shiva was, blocked his path. In a sudden flash of anger, Shiva severed the boy's head. When Parvati emerged, totally devastated, Shiva instantly realized his tragic mistake. To make things right, he miraculously revived the boy by replacing his head with that of a powerful elephant. The glowing aura around Ganesha in our artwork is a beautiful symbol of this divine revival, giving us the beloved elephant-headed god we know today as the remover of obstacles.
All right, Section 4, Protector of the World, Neelkanth. From the devoted family man, we definitely need to ramp up the energy now as we look at Shiva's role as the ultimate savior of the universe. When creation itself is literally on the brink of total annihilation, Shiva is always the one who steps into the breach. The story of the Neelkanth unfolds super dramatically here. So the gods and demons are actually cooperating to churn the cosmic ocean to find the nectar of immortality. But right before the nectar appears, this dark, billowing poison erupts from the depths, and it threatens to dissolve absolutely all of existence. Nobody else can handle it, so Shiva steps forward and drinks the deadly poison himself. But here's the catch. He doesn't actually swallow it. Parvati grabs his neck, and he holds the poison right there in his throat. Emphasized by the striking visual change from those dark toxic clouds to the serene blue of Shiva's throat, the sheer toxicity of the poison earns him the name Neelkanth, which translates to the blue-throated one. And honestly, this is such a powerful psychological metaphor for us. Think about it. Sometimes true strength is holding back our own poison, our anger, or our negative emotions so it doesn't hurt the people around us, but also making sure we don't swallow it so it destroys us from the inside out.
He actually performs a very similar act of protection with the sacred river Ganga. Just notice the sheer chaotic force of the heavenly fall depicted in the swirling artwork. The Ganga was originally a heavenly river, but when she was called down to Earth, her descent was so violently fast that the impact would have literally shattered the planet. To save the world, Shiva stands strong and catches this devastating cosmic waterfall right in his thick, matted hair. He absorbs that incredible chaotic shockwave, tames the violent force, and then just gently releases the water to flow safely onto the Earth. He is constantly acting as this vital buffer between chaotic, overwhelming force and delicate life.
Which brings us to Section 5, Tandava and the Cycle of Life.
So what happens when the balance of the universe is entirely broken? Shiva transforms once again. Captured here amid swirling ink and cosmic fire is the Tandava, the fiery dance of destruction. Now this is triggered only when unrighteousness, chaos, and ego completely overwhelm the world. Through his incredibly powerful, rhythmic movements, Shiva literally dismantles the universe. But hey, remember our earlier discussion? This destruction is actually an essential cleansing process. It burns away all the corruption to create a completely blank canvas, which is absolutely required for a fresh start. This visual dichotomy perfectly captures Shiva's duality. On the one side, bathed in cool, icy blues, you have the meditating ascetic, absolute stillness, the freezing Himalayan ice, the introverted peace of Adiyogi. And then, on the exact opposite side, exploding in fiery reds and violent movement, you have the fierce destroyer, the consuming cosmic fire, and the totally extroverted wrath of the Tandava. He is both extremes. He's the ultimate, perfect balance of creation and destruction, silence and sound, ice and fire. So, what do we actually take away from the story of Mahadev? It really comes down to grounding these ancient cosmic myths into our own daily reality. First, control your anger, just like Shiva held the poison in his throat. Second, let go of your ego. Remember that even the gods must bow to the natural order. Third, try to embrace every change in life. And finally, understand that every end is just a new beginning. When one door forcefully closes in your life, it is simply the universe clearing the path for something new to grow. I want to leave you with a final thought to really reflect on long after this explainer finishes. What poison in your own life do you need to hold back from spreading to others? And what painful ending you're currently facing might actually be your new beginning? Take a moment today to channel a little bit of that balance. Thank you so much for joining me on this visual journey through the cosmos. Keep exploring and keep learning.